Alright guys, I have the 235 plugged in on the Spectrum 3S 850 mAh battery pack, and I forgot to show you my transmitter, but I have this thing bound to my Spectrum NX7. So yeah, let's go and fly it. Very excited to test this thing out. Just put this thing out of hold mode. Everything's moving nice and good. So I'm gonna first take off on normal mode, and we'll go from there. So there, as you can see, it's spooling up. So now we're in the air. Now on normal mode, you have safe. So if I push my cyclic all the way forward, it really limits your bank. So you cannot really flip this thing over. Now, what safe is really intended to do is to really just get the beginner comfortable. So if I was a beginner, I would be just trying to get it to hover straight, and then, throw a bit of orientation in there. Practice your orientations. Nose in, left side, and forward. This is really one of the main things that you want to practice as a beginner, because without knowing your orientations, you won't be able to get much further than normal mode. And you can also see, if I do a pirouette here, the CG, you can really see the CG is much better. With the original 235, it would kind of move back and forward because it was slightly tail heavy. And with Safe Select, I don't know if it's a Safe Select, but with Safe, you still have a lot of throw. So, you can do circles. You can practice your circles. But I always advocate for just learning the basics on Safe, but always never get too reliant on it. Now let's go into idle up 1. Now this is where you can do more sport flying. As you can probably hear, the head speed is super low on this helicopter. And that's for a couple reasons. But the things I can list off at the top of my head right now is, one, it's obviously a beginner's helicopter. You don't want to intimidate them with a super high head speed. And also, because it's a beginner helicopter, if you crash it with a super high head speed, you're more likely to destroy everything. But something like this with a lower head speed, it'll still break, but this one's more durable, and with a low head speed, it will not break as much. So in idle up 1, or stunt 1, as some like to call it, I would probably just go for like a slightly faster pace flying. There's a lot of forward flight that you can do here in idle up 1. Your circles, you can do like a figure 8 in a circle. You can flip it upside down in idle up 1, but I probably wouldn't, because the head speed still feels super low, so you might not have enough torque. Now what is a little strange is this tail rotor is still kind of loud. And it's weird because there's been a bunch of helicopters in the hobby that have a much quieter tail rotor already. I mean, listen to that. It's a little strange, but it's cool. Now let's flip it into idle up 2. Ooh. I have to get used to this more slow pace. It sounds really nice, the main blades. I might need to lower my expo and idle up too. I followed the book, which said like 25% expo, but normally I like to rock with 0 expo. Now I did run up on my timer all the way, so I'm gonna do a little close-up hover. I think my dad's gonna fly it. Stick it back in normal mode. And you can see the gyro is calibrated, so flicking it back into safe mode will not hurt it. Awesome helicopter, guys. Okay, so that was my maiden flight on the Revolution 235, and it flies really, really nicely. The 230S was always a great helicopter because you can really grow with it. That's what I like to say, because you can buy it as a complete beginner, and then once you're comfortable enough flying it for a long time, you can start flipping it and doing the things that you saw that I was doing. So yeah, it's a really, really nice helicopter, and I love the scheme on it. It looks great. Now, I almost ran into myself when I flipped it over the first time because I was not used to that low head speed. But yeah, it's still really, really nice helicopter, and I'm really happy with Horizon Hobby has done here because they've made a really nice platform for learning helicopters even better. So yeah, my dad's a beginner and he loves helicopters. So we'll see if he'll be able to fly it.
Hey guys, I'm Eric, John's dad, if you guys don't already know me, and I am a beginner when it comes to RC heli, so hopefully Horizon Hobby is true to their word that this is actually meant for beginners, so let's do this. I should also mention that I haven't piloted an RC helicopter in probably, gosh, 2 years now. Maybe more. So hopefully this goes well. Are you ready, John?
Yep.
I like how the tail starts up first. Okay, here we go. And away we go. Oh, she's actually pretty gentle. So I can do my hover practice. So there's right side. There's left side. Now dare I do nose in on this guy? Let's see. All right, let me get my bearings straight first. Okay, that's about as nose in as I can get, guys. Ooh, getting too far away from me now. Let's bring her in. Like I said, newbie on a Blade 235. But actually, it's not scary at all. She's not loud. I can just do simple turns. the tail end. It's almost hands-free, not quite, but almost hands-free. Okay, watch, I'm gonna let go of the sticks. Hold on a second, give it some height. Okay, now I'm letting go, letting go, letting go, and it just drifts a little bit to the left. Let's reel her in again. Okay. And getting a little too far away from me. Let's just do some simple pirouettes like right here, so I have a good idea exactly where the helicopter is and how it's facing me. See, that required almost no effort on my part. All I did was just turn the rudder, and she just stayed still while I did this. So I'm not even compensating for ailerons. I'm just turning the rudder, and she just turns nice and easy. See? It's not drifting in any way. It's just turning. I'm not feeling comfortable like maybe going in a forward flight thing and doing an actual circuit. Not yet anyway. Again, it's been a minute since I've flown a helicopter. I'm surprised I can even get her in the air right now. So that really speaks to the quality of how this helicopter was made. So really, if you guys are trying to get into RC helicopters, this is about as easy as it gets. I mean, really. Look at this. No drifting. All right, that was my timer. I'm sure that in time, after maybe about 5 or 6 batteries, I can get a hang on her. But I'm impressed. That was a very peaceful, safe flight. All right. So guys, that was my maiden flight on the Revolution 235 CP. And I must admit, it really doesn't get much easier than that. Like really. My left fingers were doing all the work. My right hand was actually almost just staying still because she doesn't really drift that much. So I didn't have to, mess around with the ailerons. So again, if you guys are trying to get into RC helis, you don't have to buy a giant 500, 600, 700, because, the myth is the larger the helicopter, the more stable it is. And I'm sure that's still true. But what if you can get that kind of stability in something this small and this inexpensive? So I think this is a winner. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to John's RC, and we will see you at the next video. See you at the flying field.
Hey guys, John here, and welcome back to John's RC. And today I'm so excited to show you guys this Blade Revolution 235 CP. This is pretty much brand new. It was released like a month ago and we just got it. The Revolution 235 is the latest and most updated version of the ever so popular Blade 230, which is widely regarded as the most popular beginner collective pitch helicopter. So I love the 230. I have videos on it. The 230 is actually one of my biggest videos ever on John's RC, and it's such a lovely helicopter, so I cannot wait to see what this thing has in store for us. So we got this thing in a bind and fly configuration, which means I have to supply myself with my own transmitter, battery, and battery charger. But the Revolution also comes in a ready to fly configuration that comes with a DXS transmitter. So you can see here, this is the box. I did open this to make sure everything was in there and I bound it up. But this is what you get. This is the helicopter. And you also get a bunch of accessories. It comes with zip ties. It looks like Velcro and some gyro tape. And you also have a little Allen key and of course your bind plug. So yeah, this is the helicopter itself and it looks beautiful. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to set this box to the side because I did bring the original 230 with me to compare. So this is the original 230. It looks a little silly. I crashed this thing due to a technical error, and we put the landing gear on wrong, and I don't think this thing is really flight worthy now. So we just have it. So let me put the manual aside. So the most obvious difference, of course, is the scheme. You can see here the last 3 generations of the 230 have been orange, but this one is a brand new scheme. This is yellow, which is kind of like all of Horizon's new thing now is yellow for the new airplanes. But I think it looks beautiful. The yellow and white looks so clean, and it just looks awesome. It looks so fresh. No more orange. So if I take off the canopy, this is where it'll be more obvious to tell what they changed. I'm just leave the canopy here and take off this canopy. So you can see here on the original 230, this is what the frame looks like, and the 235 has a completely revamped frame, and what this is for is the servo geometry. So you can see here on the 235, every servo is optimized and it's all like aligned and not parallel, but it's all like centered. As opposed to the 230, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but there's one servo stacked here, there's one servo stacked here, and then there's one servo here. So what they did on the 235 was they optimized all of the servo geometry, and they also pushed, you can see the cyclic servos that were originally in the back are now in the front. And that's to make the CG a little better, because on the original 230, it was slightly tail heavy. Now, another difference is the main rotor diameter. The main rotor on the 235, let me stand them side by side. The main rotor diameter of the 235 is actually just slightly larger than that of the Blade 230, which 557 millimeter diameter. And they also changed the electronics a little bit. The motor on the 235 is a 3600 kV brushless outrotor motor, and the motor on the 230S is a 3900 kV brushless outrotor motor. Now, you can see here on the tail boom, it's also a lot thicker. That's what Blade has been doing now. Like you can see mainly on the Fusion line, those tail booms are thick. But you can see here on the original 230, it has a really slim tail boom. And really what this is here to do is to make the helicopter look cooler. I mean, it has a lot larger presence in the air because this one's like super thin, this one's larger. And also, the 235 is also now a lot more rigid and durable because everything has been beefed up. Now, another core difference is they changed all the electronics. So you can see here, we have the old Spectrum ones, which worked fine, but now we have the more modern servos and the more modern smart ESC that comes with, then the more modern smart ESC where we have to use these IC2 batteries. Now I do have things to say about these batteries. I think I've voiced that these batteries work perfectly fine, but I always miss my balance plug. I love my balance plug because if I don't have a Spectrum Smart charger on me, can't fly. But also, these IC2 connectors are always a little annoying because what Spectrum has done is you can literally only use IC2 batteries on this thing unless you chop the thing off, which puts me at a dilemma because I have IC2 batteries, but I also have XT30 batteries I want to use. So you can't use an XT30 to EC2 because EC2 is not compatible with IC2. So you're really just locked into the Spectrum ecosystem here unless you just pull the plug and you solder on something new. But we have batteries and they work fine. These are 3-cell 850 milliamp hour 30C batteries without a balance plug. Now, the last thing I want to mention here is that the 230 has already been, the 235 is the 4th generation of the 230. It originally came out with the 230 and then the 230S, sorry, the 230S, the 230S V2, the 230S Smart, and then this is the 235. Now, this right here is a 230S V2. We don't have the Smart one. You can still see it has the original JST, which was horrible. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and it has a brand new flybarless. The one really big problem with the 230 was if, say, you were like kind of like this and then you flipped your safe switch back on, it would go all over the place. It would like keep going like this. It would not be like centered at all. So it's the flight controller is way more tuned. So yeah, hopefully we'll see this in the air. So let's go and fly it.